So Boruto Uzumaki had his life changed at the end of part 1 due to the Omnipotence event, and ever since that moment he has been on the run from the Hidden Leaf Village, where eventually he returned back to Konoha where he saved everyone from the attack of Code. Currently in the story, Team 7 is in the Sand Village getting ready to battle Matsuri and Ryu after their initial ploy of trying to kill them off guard did fail, and now in this scenario that they are in, they have to fight these characters or else they will die. Now when it comes to Boruto's perspective in this situation, we do understand that Kashin Koji will not allow Boruto to leave to head to the battlefield in the Land of Wind simply because Jura is hunting him. Obviously Kashin Koji has the ability of prescience where he can see multiple timelines, so in order to obtain a safer future, he will have to point Boruto and the Leaf Village in the correct direction in order to stop these villains in order for them to stay alive. Meaning that Boruto right now can't really make an impact in the story at least until this battle is over. Because if he decides to head over to the Land of Wind, then Juro will arrive and kill everyone, destroying their plan of trying to save everyone from the Shinju. So in today's video, I do want to talk about how Boruto can kind of convince more people to join his side. Obviously, when it comes to the Omnipotence Jutsu, when it did activate, it turned everyone against Boruto. Obviously, he was framed for Naruto disappearing from the Leaf Village, and now he has to suffer the consequences. However, thanks to Kashin Koji being by his side, there are ways for Boruto to manipulate these emotions to benefit himself in the story. So far in the first 18 chapters, only a few characters that have been affected by the Omnipotence have been able to believe that Boruto is not in the wrong, but instead has been made completely innocent. Characters like Sarada, Shikamaru, Sumire, and Amato were all people who were affected by the jutsu. However, over time, especially since they have interacted with Boruto, they came to an understanding that Boruto was innocent. Hence why Sarada did unlock her Mangekyo Sharingan after discovering that Boruto was thrown under the bus thanks to this event. And ever since then, she has been trying to convince everyone that Boruto was not in the wrong. We see this in the opening page of To Blue Vortex, trying to tell Shikamaru that Boruto was made out to be an enemy for no reason at all. Obviously, at the beginning of the series, Shikamaru did not believe this since he was made Hokage and he was affected by the jutsu. However, after time, Shikamaru started to realize that Boruto may not have been this bad guy that everyone thought he was about to be. He eventually put 2 and 2 together and realized that Boruto was an innocent character, and instead Kawaki was the one who did something to Naruto, which explains why he is missing from the story. Eventually, Boruto does inform him about what exactly happened to Naruto, with Kawaki sealing him away, where Shikamaru did put 2 and 2 together, realizing that Boruto and Kawaki's positions in the story have been completely flipped around. And while Shikamaru is able to deduce what exactly omnipotence is, the very concept of omnipotence will not stick in his mind for very long. When a character has been affected by this jutsu, the idea of it will not remain in their mind very long if they are informed about it, which is why they need something factual for them to see and believe for them to realize that something is wrong. In Shikamaru's case, he realized that Boruto and Kawaki's roles were flipped after looking at some shinobi records and seeing that Boruto's name was affiliated with Team 7. When it comes to the Omnipotence Jutsu, in everybody's mind, this was Kawaki's place and he was the one that was originally part of Team 7. However, since he saw this physical, tangible evidence within the Konoha record book, he has been able to believe that Boruto and Kawaki's positions were flipped. This also includes Amato, as well, as he was the one who gave the karma to Kawaki. However, since the Omnipotence Jutsu flipped Boruto and Kawaki's position, in Amato's mind, he believes that he gave the karma to Boruto instead of Kawaki, where we do see in the current day that Kawaki has the karma that Amato did give him, where he was able to understand that Boruto and Kawaki's position were flipped. And the same thing applies to Sarada as well, and she saw this back in part 1 where she did temporarily awaken her Mangekyo Sharingan. Now when it comes to more characters like this that can join Boruto's side and realize that what they currently believe is just not true, I'm gonna be real with you, I just don't think they're ever gonna reverse the Omnipotence Jutsu, because at least according to Boruto and what everyone knows right now, there is no way to reverse everyone's minds that have been affected to go back to what it was normally like back in Boruto part 1. Meaning that there's no true definitive answer of reversing everybody that has been affected right away. Now obviously when it comes to a singular person, we have seen a few characters finally discover that the Omnipotence jutsu has been messing up their mind and that all logic has been screwing with them, which is why some of these characters have been able to decipher that Boruto has been somewhat in the innocence. Kashin Koji understands this with his prescience jutsu, and to be honest with you, I think Boruto just has to deal with this for the rest of his life. I mean, he is Sasuke's student after all, and with Sasuke showing in part 1 that he has been able to work in the shadows to Naruto, Boruto will have to continue to be like this for the rest of his life in order to protect the Leaf Village. Now obviously he was made out to be something that he truly isn't, however with how the story is currently moving, I don't think there's a chance for him to reverse any of these effects simply because he is being hunted by everyone. Not just by all 5 great villages, but also by the Shinju as well. Meaning that he's gonna have to always be looking behind his back no matter where he is, unless he is in Orochimaru's hideout for example, chilling with Kashin Koji. But when it comes to the story implications right now, the Shinjus have been the main target, and at least right now, he has also been able to convince Kawaki to join his side when it comes to fighting these characters. Because obviously we do know that at some point, Boruto and Kawaki are going to duke it out, because we know that Kawaki wants to eliminate all of the Otsutsuki starting with Boruto. However, even he realizes that there is a much bigger threat right now, and that is the Shinju starting with Jiraiya. Now obviously when it comes to these other smaller Shinjus that have been shown in the story, such as Ryo and Matsuri, the story has made it a necessity for these side characters to take care of them, such as Sarada, Mitsuki, and Konoha. Obviously they are part of the main cast, however when it comes to Boruto Part 1, they really didn't get much screen time in comparison to Boruto and Kawaki, at least in terms of the manga. So for at least right now, the manga is going to be focused on these characters for the next few chapters, because as we know, Boruto cannot leave, or else Jiraiya will come and destroy everyone there, of course. And the way Kashin Koji has been talking about Jiraiya, it seems like even Boruto himself, as strong as he is, doesn't even have a chance, which is why Boruto had to talk to Kawaki about fighting these Shinjus first before they have their big battle. In chapter 18, Kawaki did demand Amato to release his limiters in order to fight these characters. As we know in TBV so far, Kawaki has been pretty damn weak, at least alongside the likes of Boruto and Jiraiya for example. Now I don't expect Kawaki to be able to fight Jiraiya by himself, but at least when it comes to his contemporary like Boruto, who is his rival within the context of this story, Kawaki has clearly fallen behind. Boruto has even admitted that there is no time for Kawaki to train up, so instead of training, he does tell Amato to get his limiters removed for Kawaki to be able to fight these characters. As we know, at some point we will get a battle involving Jiraiya with the likes of Kawaki and Boruto, and I imagine both characters will be fighting side by side to take him down. And personally, I believe this battle is going to be so huge that it will change the landscape of the rest of Two Blue Vortex, to the point where we may even see the destruction of the Hidden Leaf Village. So how does that exactly tie back to Boruto's innocence within the story? Now of course the Omnipotence Jutsu forces everyone to believe a certain narrative, and unless there is tangible evidence that refutes this logic, nobody will be able to believe it. And while there's only been a few characters that have been able to bypass this jutsu thus far, I think in order for everyone to kind of believe Boruto within the following chapters, there would have to be an event so big where Boruto saves the village and everybody inside of it realizes that he was the one who saved everyone. And I think that would have to be the case. However, I think when it comes to Boruto's story, I personally believe the way it's going to end, at least for Boruto's case within the Omnipotence Jutsu, is that I still think people are going to believe that he was the one who killed Naruto. Unless Naruto comes back within the story, because I think at some point he will, since Kawaki still has Naruto chilling inside of that Daikyoku dimension, and the only character that has the ability to retrieve Naruto into the real world is Kawaki himself. And the only way Naruto will be able to be brought back is if all of the threats have been eliminated, such as the Otsutsuki and the Shinju. And let's not forget about Code and whatever villains that may be introduced for the rest of Two Blue Vortex. So it's going to be very interesting on how this plays out, considering that we are moving very fast within the story in this new current arc with the Shinjus that are fighting with Team 7 in the Sand Village is going to change the direction on how Boruto is going to move. As we know, Boruto cannot leave to help out Team 7, or else Jiraiya will return to the battlefield and kill everyone there. So right now we're just going to wait on how Boruto will react to this, as we know at some point there will be a major battle that could change Boruto Boruto's innocence within the story. Now obviously for this to happen, there has to be some sort of tangible evidence for everyone to see and believe, and I think that evidence will be Naruto coming back into the story, simply because he is alive, and at least in everyone's mind, they have been programmed to believe that Boruto was the one who killed Naruto, hence why Naruto's chakra has not been able to be sensed within the Leaf Village. And if Kawaki were to bring back Naruto, or another character has the ability to pull Naruto out of that Daikakunin dimension, such as Juro for example, let's say he does do that and everyone sees that, that will defy the logic that Boruto was the one who killed Naruto and instead something fishy is ongoing. That is how characters like Shikamaru, Sarada, and Amato have been able to defy this logic, since they know deep down their mind isn't telling them what they exactly believe in this scenario. So let me know how you guys feel about this video in the comment section below. Do you think at some point Boruto will be able to reverse the omnipotence? Personally, I do think at some point there will be a major event that will completely change the perspective of everyone that has been affected by this jutsu. And I forgot to mention this, but a character like Shibai Otsutsuki, who has ascended into a higher dimension, maybe he comes into the story and reverses the omnipotence jutsu like that. However, I think that's very Mickey Mouse in my opinion. I think that would be just crazy stupid plot armor for Boruto. I do think Boruto will have to get it out the mud and find out the hard way, and so far in Blue Vortex he has been dealing with it in a very positive way. It hasn't affected him too much, even though mentally we know it has been downing him. However, thanks to some of his allies such as Kashin Koji and Sarada picking him up, as well as Shikamaru realizing that he needs to keep Boruto by his side and have him stay as this traitor, eventually over time Boruto will get more allies to join his side. So I'm very excited to see how this will play out, because over time I do think Boruto will gain more allies within the Leaf Village, and that could be very beneficial when it comes to stopping future enemies such as the Shinju like Juro or any Otsutsuki that are currently in the story or that can be introduced in the future. So let me know how you guys feel about this video in the comment section below. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.